Hey guys, welcome to Thoughts Universe, where we teach the truth and show the guiding principles of the universe. I am Promise, and today I'll be asking you a question. Who are you and what is your identity? We can all agree that all over the physical realm, every single living thing dies, most especially and including humans. And this is because the physical realm is limited and at school, a place for your soul to learn and grow. Understanding that the spiritual is the only thing that matters, as of course I've been on both sides. And when I mean both sides, I mean tapping into the realm of the physical and the spiritual. Walking and hustling from the ego, stress, and unregulated nervous system, thinking and opening 1,000 tabs up in my head, and the spiritual, which deals more in flow and alignment. The spiritual being the only thing that matters, you get to understand that the only identity that you have is your spiritual identity. That's the soul, not your sexuality, not your religion, not your tribe, not your color, not your race, as those are but physical limitations, a material manifestation of the immaterial, the spiritual, the unseen. The spiritual identity is not something you discover, but something you remember. The root of everything, and your soul's blueprints. Most religions and cultures, despite how depraved they can be, all agree on some sort of after physical life or form. From chilling with 72 virgins after death to singing to one supreme being forever, which sounds like servitude, and others. If all of these religions and cultures, despite antagonism to each other, division, and even physical alteration, can agree on the existence of a forever living being and a limited human experience, despite their untruthful stories and illogical generational indoctrination attached to them. Why would any human race, sexuality, tribe, and all the division of the lower dense realm see themselves as superior to others? And then you wonder, superior to others by what metrics? Industrialization, development, race, tribe, education, religion, the material, physical limitation. Because at the end of the day, we are all just having a human experience, a limited time here on earth. In this world, the devil's world, as people call it, the masses have been divided along, tribal lines, beliefs, sexuality, race, color, culture, and so many other things. But one thing they stand united in is the spirit, the soul, and afterlife. And that is what really matters. Now, it doesn't mean neglect the physical things because you are here to have an experience and learn and grow. Let's not forget, across ancient indigenous cultures and traditions, which is the root of humanity, man-made religions and indoctrinations, the only thing that matters, the common meeting points, the 0 points, is the soul. Now, if your soul is the only thing that gets to live on forever without limitation of time and space, this actually confirms that your soul is the actual reality, seen from a higher perspective, as it is the only thing that gets to live forever. The soul is who we are and who we truly have been before separation and forgetfulness due to the denseness of this realm when we come into this world. As everything and absolutely everything has been structured to detach you from the truths, your sensitivity, your intuition, your perception, and your soul. Quantum physics, ancient hermetic knowledge, and ancient indigenous spirituality are united on the fact that everything is but a form of energy, the soul, the spirit. Energy is constantly transformed between the seen and unseen. Hence, we say energy is spirit, soul, and spirit and soul is energy. Energy or spirit is the base form for all physical things and can always be transformed and transmuted. Popular physicist Albert Einstein said that energy cannot be created or destroyed, and it can only change from one form to another. He is also quoted to have said that everything is energy and all there is to it. And when you match the frequency of the reality you want, you get that reality. That is put in my own words. Knowing we are spirits and energy manifesting in a physical form, our core as spirits and energy also manifests in a polarity. This is one of the fundamental principles in physics and chemistry. Energy manifesting itself in a polarity. The principle or law of polarity of the universe states that everything has an equal opposite of the same thing. For example, hot and cold, good and bad, angel, demon, and so much more. This ancient principle that governs the universe is one of the 7 Hermetic principles, originally rooted in ancient Egypt, Kemet, and other African tribe cosmologies like the Dogons, the Yorubas, the Igbos. They shared an ancestral and related expression of African metaphysical tradition. Now, if everything in the universe is energy, energy takes up various forms, and these various forms are ways of identifying energy: light and dark, active and passive, masculine and feminine, negative and positive. All of these are various forms in which energy takes. Our spirit and energy manifesting itself in a physical form of the human body, we can say that spirit takes the form of the polarity of the masculine and feminine gender in a person, and each and every one of us has a balance of both. This energy, masculine or feminine, whichever is the dominant one, it manifests itself in your life physically in different ways and controls a significant amount of your life, knowingly or unknowingly. Masculine or feminine energy is used to describe the nature of hard and soft, force and flow, logic and emotion, intuition and expression, the enforcing energy, and the creative one. In essence, it's just basically describing the feminine as a much more softer version, feminine energy as a much more softer version, and the masculine energy as a much more stronger version. Most people lean towards one extreme end of the masculine and feminine energy polarity based on their sexual reproductive organs or genders, and this causes a great imbalance in their energy field and their life. That is to say, someone who is masculine or a man in gender will feel like he has a much more masculine energy because he is a man. Whereas it's the balance of both the masculine and the feminine energy that makes for a whole, complete, balanced woman. This is the same thing with the ladies, coming together of the masculine and feminine energy in an energetic union for balance to be restored in a person. While in this realm, the third dimension, the human body, as limited as it may be, is naturally identified by gender assignments, usually based on sexual reproductive organ and chromosome. Whereas the energetic body, that's the spirit, does not operate within these limitations. As these limitations are due to energy, spirits being transformed into a solid state, matter, and the physical body. When you have the balance of the masculine and feminine energy in you and you integrate them, it restores a balance of the force of creation in you. And this is why the most masculine man is seen to have a feminine energy or seen as a simp. The most masculine man operates from the balance of both. That is soft, expressive, intuition, logical, flow, and moves with force, which is societally seen most times as simping from those who operate in trauma, ego, survival, and fear. They have been so indoctrinated to believe that an alpha male, whatever that is, operates from his more masculine energy and forces that as the dominant side. Whereas forcing any form of energy is rooted in this dense reality, survival, and an unregulated nervous system. This also applies to the female gender, as the most feminine woman also holds the masculine energy in her, focused, logical, expressive, intuitive, and so on. The balance of both, like I said, helps in restoring the force of creation. Knowing and understanding energy and spirits and the polarity of it all in regards to identity, it is ridiculous to attribute the divine feminine and divine masculine energy to a third dimensional physical, gender, and body identity of representation in limitation. The divine feminine and the divine masculine go through a sacred process of being broken down by the universe in order to be able to hold sacred energy. And don't forget, the divine feminine and masculine is not based on gender, but based on energy. And the coming together of the divine feminine and divine masculine energy in an energetic union is catalytic to the collective. You might wonder, if we are spirits having a human experience, so what is the human body? The human body is just but a part of nature, a shell casing for the soul, through which we get to experience the physicality and the materialization of the spirit in this dense realm until we wake up and until we remember. Spiritual colonization begins when you believe in a higher power that is above you, that isn't you. Collectively and communally, spiritual colonization also happens when you forgo and forget your practices, your traditional practices that are rooted in your ancestors and your belief as a tradition, and you take up another spiritual practices and tradition that do not connect to your ancestors and do not connect to your bloodline. You have then given away your spiritual power, disconnecting yourself energetically from the roots of your ancestors, from your bloodline. People believe colonization began during invasion, but no, it began subtly in the unknown with the missionaries went into full scale via colonization and brutalizing indigenous tribes and demonizing their spirituality, and systemically and globally weaponizing a spiritual system not rooted in truth. If you enjoyed today's topic, like, share, and subscribe to get more teachings of the universe. I also have my book here, Spirit Lead, A Guide to Raise Your Consciousness. It is the book that helped me on the spiritual journey and my path of feeling, healing, integrating, and being. And I know it would also help you on your journey.